All right, welcome back. It is episode 2 of the Gladiator Wrestling Podcast.
Yes, it is.
We've got a lot to talk about in episode 2. We've had a wild weekend. Royal Rumble. We had Raw 30 a few days ago. Got a lot to go on. We're going to start, though. We said last week and said on Facebook, I believe, that we'd get some introductions in because we didn't explain who we are. So,
just some random podcast.
Yeah, we're just some random guys that found some microphones and started talking. So I'm Josh. I am 39. Been watching wrestling since, I can't remember when I wasn't. My younger days of watching was whatever I could catch on the 3 channels of the TV. For the younger audience, we didn't always have 287 channels to pick from. We had 3. And if the president came on, we had none. That's the only thing that was ever on.
That's when you got the national anthem at the end of the night and the TV's cut off on their own.
Oh, yes. Yes. But we at about 10 is when we got moved away from our lake house, and we got into cable, and I was able to discover Monday Night Raw. And then a longtime friend said, are you also watching Monday Nitro? I said, what is that?
Uh-oh.
And then, that's when the Attitude Era exploded, and then that's when I fell in love with wrestling.
The good old Monday Night Wars, right?
Oh, the Monday Night Wars. And I've had a love-hate relationship with WWE ever since. I've had spells where I had to stop watching and go watch TNA, and I was convinced that they were going to completely dominate, and then some people came in, took over, ruined all that. That's for another podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm
I mean to interrupt you there, Josh, but I think that is the same person that we will talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll look at some top 10s. That'll come up, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Name's Chris. I early 40s, like I told Josh I was going to say, and been watching wrestling for a very long time. I'm talking NWA, the Mid-South with Jerry King and the Rock and Roll Express and all those good classic wrestlers. Saw Macho Man there before he even came up. Just love wrestling. What can you say about it? It's always something. It's always there. It's always been there. I just love wrestling, and the love of wrestling is how this podcast actually came about.
Yeah,
it was 2 dudes meeting each other at work, started talking about wrestling, and here we go.
Yeah, it's once we get started talking, we don't know how to shut up. So we thought, well, somebody surely will want to listen to us.
Yeah,
we struggled for a while to come up with a name for this podcast, though. So interesting way we came up with Gladiator Wrestling.
Very. But it's all coming together, It
is.
Nothing but good things. I feel like nothing but good things are going to come from this, and
oh yeah,
it's something that we both care about. Like I said, just love wrestling, man. It's it,
yeah.
But this podcast is basically about is just everything wrestling. We're going to cover everything you see on TV. We're going to try to cover indies, independents, and we'll try to up and coming wrestlers. We're going to try to cover it all for everybody.
It'll jump from time to time. The past, present, and future is what we're talking about. We're talking about all of it.
Exactly.
To jump backwards just a hair, the interesting story behind the name of the podcast. I drive a Jeep Gladiator, and we're driving along at night and sitting there like, we got to have a name. We got to have a cool name. Nobody wants to listen to a podcast with a goofy name. We got to have a cool name. And then we're driving and listening to the exhaust, and I believe it struck Chris. He came up with it. He said, we already have the Gladiator.
Yeah, Gladiator
Wrestling Podcast. So, and there we are.
So it was born. But we love this, and we're going to try to give y'all the best that we can give.
Oh yeah, we're going to keep it entertaining, and we're going to talk a whole lot of wrestling, and we got a lot of opinions, and it's okay if you don't agree, and it's we probably don't agree with all y'all's opinions, but that's okay too.
That's what wrestling's about.
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about wrestling.
I don't have to like your favorite.
Yeah. Hey, you ain't got. I probably don't like a lot of y'all's favorites, especially
button.
the older gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen like I am.
I gotta find the mute button on his mic before it gets off.
Yeah, don't get me started.
It's
So
bad.
can we go ahead and just do?
Well, let's start because we got. I don't want to get into the big thing we got, but let's talk about Dynamite real quick. Big things happened on Dynamite that were definitely shouldn't have had to wait a week, but I'm glad we got them. We had a nice Jay Briscoe tribute video, and then we had a awesome match with a lot of emotion, a lot of heart in that match between Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
And it really, looking at that match, watching it, I didn't know if Jay Lethal was going to be able to start it. He was already choking up before he got in the ring.
You know what's crazy is that was the Dynamite that we was wanting to go to.
Yep.
In Kentucky.
Yep. It was only about an hour away.
Back to just we're based out of Tennessee here, so yeah, we're in the heart of the wrestling country, the Mid-South and all that. But go right ahead.
Yeah, but it was a great match, and I tell you what, Mark Briscoe did a phenomenal job, and not only did he get Jay's heart back into that match and get him where he knew that's where he had to be. It turned amazing. And he made sure they turned up the violence, and we're not holding back. It's a tribute match, but it's going to be a match, and it was a hell of a match. It was wonderful to watch. It was wonderful to see the locker room come out of the back room, and seeing Mark holding those titles up, and it was a really, really good moment. I'm glad it happened.
Total professionalism.
Absolutely.
I mean, for him to lose his brother almost exactly a week to the day.
Yeah.
And to come out, and we talked about it last time about Jay Lethal and Briscoes, and give it to Jay Lethal too.
Absolutely.
Love him or hate him, he's a pro.
Oh,
and he handled that with.
Been a fan of Jay Lethal for a long time.
Yeah.
Back in Impact, I was a big Black Machismo fan.
Yeah.
Not everybody was, but that's all right. It was really cool. I met him back in those days when he was doing that. It was really cool. But Tony Khan wasn't going to give up until he got a Jay tribute on TV.
Damn right.
And he did it. And props to Tony Khan. He wasn't going to give up, and I love that.
Khan's doing big things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. After this weekend, he's going to have to do some real big stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. That's for later. Another couple of good things before we jump to the next part of this, our next segment. Darby Allin and Buddy Matthews had a pretty good match for the TNT title. I don't know how Darby is still going. It's time to rest, bud. Take a nap.
He's doing the whole open challenge thing, right?
Oh yeah, open challenge.
Him and Cassidy?
He's wrestled I don't know how many times, just constant and defending the title, not just wrestling matches. The only one he didn't defend his title was the Muda's final match where he teamed with Sting and Great Muda, which was great.
Isn't that a great thing though about AEW?
Oh yeah,
you're always going to have those champs there.
And I can't imagine the feeling Darby Allin has to know he was there in the ring, teaming with the Great Muda and Sting
and the Icon. I mean, come on, dude. Shinsuke was there too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura, very, very good talent. But Darby and Buddy had a really good match for the TNT title. End of that match, Joe pops up on screen, says he's coming back for his title. Yeah. I'm afraid Darby probably has his number, but yeah, Darby's not going to let loose of that title.
Darby took it too, Joe, to get that title. He went through hell to get that title back. I'm just telling you.
And then last little bit of Dynamite we got was Danielson versus Cage. It was a decent match. I mean, Danielson's not going to put on a bad match. We know that.
Well, of course, he's got to stay healthy until February 8th. He's got to win every match until the 8th. And then, if he does that, he does not get his title shot until March.
Right. But it was a good match. And, of course, Cage and MJF tried to break his arm afterwards. You know, that wasn't shocking. And then there was the backstage segment where he said, and this was really something really cool that I noticed in that segment. Of course, Danielson says, you know, Doc, you're not going to stop me. That's all well and good. But Doc Sampson, if you watch closely, had the armband on for Jay Briscoe. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool to see. Not just wrestlers on screen, but Doc Sampson, who was only on screen for a few seconds, still sporting it. So
it
really cool.
Goes back to episode 1, how I said that Briscoes had impact on everybody.
Yeah,
Everyone.
They're a big part of this business for sure. All right, we're gonna jump past Dynamite right now. There wasn't Rampage was not much to talk about on Rampage. I mean, the matches were good, but there was nothing exciting really going on. I don't have any complaints, but there just wasn't anything exciting, so we're gonna jump past that. We're gonna hit up on Raw turns 30.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
30.
The Tribal Court.
Was such an awesome segment.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman continues day by day to prove he's an absolute genius.
Modern day Brain. Modern day Bobby the Brain Heenan.
For sure.
Man. When
not a lot of people would I put in the same sentence as Bobby the Brain Heenan, but Paul Heyman definitely deserves.
Hey.
Absolutely.
When if everybody else watched Raw 30, when Sammy gets up to give his defense, if you just look at Paul Heyman, he's like, yes, this is it.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
He sells it so good in that ring.
And then when
assassination attempt.
When Paul Heyman is showing the video package and Sammy
barely
on that
bumps
episode
him.
of SmackDown bumps Roman's shoulder, he's screaming, and that was an assassination attempt.
Assault on the tribal chief.
Assault on the tribal. Absolutely hilarious.
But Roman barely moved. He only moved his collar of his shirt a little bit, you know? Oh, God.
Well, we don't know. He could have had something up his sleeve that could have injured the tribal chief.
Yeah.
It was an assassination attempt. The wise man said so. We don't argue with the wise man.
No. The wise man. I love Paul Heyman.
That was a good segment. Completely out of left field for Jay to save Sammy.
That leads to later on in the show as well.
That was such a good, and I was looking forward to what they said they had planned with the big ceremony they were going to, acknowledgement ceremony. That's what it was.
They kept putting that off for a long time, couple weeks at least.
I'm not sure why the change, but they made it worth it. Very, very, very good segment.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had had good old LA Knight.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Let me talk to you.
Comes out. Knowing everybody that's there. And says, if any of you legends in the back have any fire left in your loins to come out here, going to give you a taste of what Bray Wyatt's going to get.
Oh my.
I knew who was going to be there. Everybody knew.
Yeah.
And he had to say it. And who would come out.
But what I liked about that is they started off with the Taker. And then they go straight to Badass.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had the gong, the lights, and it's like, you screwed up, bud.
I just had a mind. My mind just went off, and that can go to what we're going to talk about after what Taker said to Bray. Okay. When maybe it is a passing, because maybe by them starting off with the Taker music, kill it, go to Badass, that meaning, hey, he's passing the dark to Bray, and that you will no longer hear the Dead Man song.
That very well could be, because he absolutely switched over and came out as the American Badass on a big old giant Harley.
Yeah.
And evidently, LA Knight had determined that he didn't want to do that.
No.
But
no.
Who would show up and force him back in there but Bray Wyatt? And he forced him right into the hands of Taker.
Yeah.
But what Taker do? Grabbed him.
Well, I was hoping though, Josh, that he was going to pick him so far up in the air and just put him through that damn mat.
He throwed him right to Bray. And Sister Abigail, lights out. It's done. You're not getting back up, bud. And the stare, to see Bray Wyatt and the Undertaker stand there in the ring, looking at each other.
Yeah.
What was an amazing moment.
And you could actually see if anybody goes back and looks at it, Bray's eyes were one way, but after Taker said whatever he said to him, his eyes changed. It was like a holy shit moment.
Oh yeah,
for Bray,
for sure.
And everybody, what did Taker say to Bray? What did Taker say to Bray? And this is all Bray had to say about what Taker said to him. Okay. What he said was something that only I would have understood and something that only I would be able to appreciate for when and where it happened. It was something I never thought would come. But what he said exactly is between me, him, God, and the devil. I'll never tell a soul. I'll go to my grave with it. But it was powerful and it was unexpected. Very, very cool of Taker. Something I will cherish for the rest of my life.
I truly believe that was whatever he said was truly it's something to the effect of it's you now. I did it for 30 something years, however long he did it forever. I mean, I never thought I'd see a day when the Undertaker wasn't wrestling all the time. I never thought it would come, but we're there now, and I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly fine because Mark Calloway needs to sit at home,
put his feet up, have a beer,
chill. Yeah,
he's done what he was supposed to do. He owes us nothing no more.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not a thing. Oh man, I've been an Undertaker. I tell you, being a kid watching the Undertaker, the segment between him and Mankind.
Oh,
Mankind shoots the fireball in Taker's face.
Yeah,
on Monday Night Raw, and I can't. There's no way. Okay. For the younger viewers, I didn't have internet to go see is Undertaker okay. There was no tweets. There was no Facebook. There wasn't even MySpace yet. You probably don't even know what that is.
The only way you was able to do it, Josh, is if you if you recorded it and rewound your VHS tape. Okay.
But all I could do is see him get hit in the face with a fireball again. And I actually did rewind it because I was recording it.
You had to.
I had to record that. I had Monday Nitro recording in my sister's room, which I'm sure she hated.
I did too. I still got VHS tapes everywhere from Mom's house and my grandmother's.
I spent a week, and this is why I love wrestling so much, a week thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to see The Undertaker again.
Yeah.
He's blinded him and he'll never wrestle again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm young enough to believe it. It was such a moment.
That's the good thing about wrestling, especially when you're young and you're getting into it. It grabs that imagination.
Yeah,
it does, and it's like, you know, people. You got your people. Oh, blah blah blah. It's also, man, I love wrestling, and not like I never changed my mind about anything. Oh, some of the stuff may be scripted, but hey, I tell people all the time, oh, wrestling's fake. Okay, well let me hit you in the back with this chair. Hey, go jump off that and land to that table right there and tell me how fake it feels.
Absolutely.
But one more thing before that, people have slowed it down just trying to get to what Taker said to Bray. And all they're coming up with was that Taker said to Bray, the face of fear, it's forever. And then walked off. People were going back to the WrestleMania match and of course, everybody's saying how Vince messed that all up for them.
And which they had a good WrestleMania match, and that's really where we thought we were going to see the torch get passed. And I think because of the way it turned out, we didn't get that feeling.
Right.
But I got it now.
I've liked Bray ever since he first did his.
Always been a Bray Wyatt fan.
The cabin on the swamp, and you know, man.
I truly think what Taker said to him was the passing of the torch. I think it's up to you now.
Hell,
You're going to be the phenom, basically.
Yeah, hell, he could have just said, for all we know, hey, cheers, kid.
Yeah.
He walked off,
But the fact that Bray Wyatt only wants that to be between them, I respect that.
I do too.
I really, really, really want to know what he said.
Yeah, the whole world wants to know.
But I can't blame him.
And we do know that Bray is good at holding in secrets and not saying, and we're not revealing anything.
For sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I can't blame him. I mean, to be in that presence and have somebody of his stature that's done the things he's done, been the man he's been on screen and in the locker room, to pass the torch to you would be, I don't know the words, because just an honor is not even enough.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how it made Bray feel.
Probably how Taker felt whenever they handed it over to him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk his name, but okay. What's next?
A couple other things that happened on Raw 30. Brock Lesnar came back.
Well, holy shit.
F5 to Bobby Lashley, and then F5 Austin Theory on top of Bobby Lashley, so he gets the win and keeps his title.
Where is this going? What is his beef
I
with
can't-
Bobby?
I can't decide. It seems like they're going to set up a WrestleMania match, but I would prefer, to be honest, and I did read earlier that some think it may be too fast to set up Brock and Gunther for Mania.
Gunther wants it.
But Brock and Gunther, I want to see.
Damn. Gunther. I like seeing with anybody. We'll
wanna
talk about
see
him
that.
later.
I
I'm a
wanna see
Gunther
it.
fan.
I mean, one negative I had about Raw 30. The DX Kurt Angle segment was hilarious,
Yeah, what are you doing here, Kirk?
but there was a few people we didn't see that I really thought we'd see. I would have liked to have seen The Rock, but I had a feeling that wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. We didn't get any Mick Foley.
No. God.
Who was the other?
Wish old Macho was still around. He'd have definitely been there.
Oh yeah,
Opening of Raw. The only problem I have with Raw 30 is the opening. Yeah, that was the only thing. And yeah, of course, we missed a couple of superstars.
but the big one, I think Bret Hart would have been a good one to see there.
Of course,
But
man.
when you say, you sit here and we go, if we did word association and you said Monday Night Raw, I would say Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Of course, dude. Or yeah.
Now maybe I'm partial because of my Texas roots and his Texas roots. Mm-hmm. But as I told in the beginning, where my wrestling really began
Of course.
was the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin, who got me in a lot of trouble with those two middle fingers.
Yeah.
Because if Stone Cold could do it, why can't I?
Yeah.
Because you're in middle school, and the coaches don't like that.
Yeah. See, I would think, Bret Hart, because during that whole thing, when he was going through the wars, the Monday Night Wars,
Monday Night Wars.
it was, oh my God, who do I like?
Right.
Yeah, then you had the NWO, then you had the DX, then you went black and white, then you went red and black, and then it was like,
Yep.
but
That's
Bret
all.
Hart, man,
I like him or hate him, and I got a buddy back home who's a huge Bret Hart fan,
Yeah.
and I've constantly tell him how much Bret screwed Bret, and I screw with him all the time on that. But no matter what, at the end of the day, he is one of the absolute best
ring technicians,
to ever lace up a pair of wrestling boots.
And you got to remember, we're saying this too. This was before any of this high fancy jumping off cages and everything. They just had to really wrestle.
But
They had to get down to it
yeah.
in that ring. They had to. That's why Stone Cold had nothing but praise when
Right.
he inducted Bret into the Hall of Fame.
we talked about that a few weeks ago. I would love to have that shirt. I always wanted that shirt. Never got to get it back then. The Blood from a Stone shirt. That came from their match when he busted and Austin passed out. I've always wanted that shirt. But
Love it.
yeah. but we didn't get Stone Cold, and that's the big thing that bothered me.
I figured he would have been there, and the people that they did announce to be there or they advertised to be there was doing nothing but playing poker.
Yeah, a lot of poker.
You know,
Hey, we got Ron Simmons though.
Yeah.
We got the obligatory. Damn, gotta love that.
Godfather.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That was good. I mean, the poker segment was good, and it was a good way to get them all on there without traipsing them all to the ring. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of our favorite legends are a little bit older, and that entrance ramp is a little long.
Yeah.
So I can kind of understand, because I mean, most of them aren't getting back in the ring. Not for much anyway.
Yeah.
But moving on quickly, we'll. I need to figure out where Ric Flair bought that suit because I got to get one.
Awesome
By the way.
suit.
But
Hey, awesome suit.
but aside from Ric Flair's suit, we'll move on to SmackDown real quick. Couple of quick things that happened the night before the Rumble. Of course, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre knocked out of the tag team title tournament thing because of the Viking Raiders. Strowman and Ricochet took their place.
I like the Viking Raiders, by the way.
Yes, Viking Raiders are badass. Strowman they went out. Strowman and Ricochet went out, and they put on a good match though. It was fun to watch. Mm-hmm. I liked it. LA Knight came out. LA Knight came out dressed as Bray Wyatt, the old school Bray Wyatt with the like a Hawaiian shirt and the fedora, and he had a little bitty lantern, and he got in the ring and even blew the lantern out.
Yeah.
Then he threw it, ripped off the Bray Wyatt stuff, and cut his promo, which was a good promo. And then, of course, Bray pops up on stage, cuts his promo, and Uncle Howdy shows up. It was good stuff. Solo Sikoa and Kevin Owens.
Solo.
Man, it was a good match. They were tearing it up. And then, of course, the Usos were kicked out of the building by Adam Pearce, who seems to have his nose in everything, oddly enough.
Yeah, Raw, SmackDown, everywhere. He's everywhere. Especially the Bloodlines business.
Yeah, I think it might be his job.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
But so the Usos weren't there. And of course, but due to what happened on Raw, Sammy was told not to be there. He was told
part of his bond, shall we say, his probation.
Yes. He was told not to be seen until the Rumble, which he was seen at the beginning of SmackDown by Jay. He was hidden under a hood and hiding over by a trailer. As the Usos left the building, got in their SUV, Jay made a call to his dog and told him he needed a favor. So, of course, during that match, Sammy shows up, got involved once to interrupt a pin so Solo didn't win, or lose, I should say. And then a lot of outside stuff. Kevin ends up with the upper hand, puts Solo through the table with and beats him with a steel chair, and then throws the chair at Sammy, who's laying on the ground because he got super kicked by Solo, because Kevin Owens ducked. Throws the chair at Sammy at the ground, and Kevin screams, "This is what they're going to use on you." And that's how SmackDown closed. Mm-hmm. So that covers the week. Now we got. Now we've got the Royal Rumble.
Can we start this Rumble talk?
It is finally time for the Rumble talk. Man. And let me say that the Royal Rumble has always been one of my favorite pay-per-views.
Always, except for maybe a couple years here and there, but awesome.
I apologize to the younger audience. You don't know what pay-per-view is.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite PLE.
PLE.
We used to have to pay $50 at the end of the month
50 and up sometimes.
to get a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
To watch these premium live events. Just to fill you in there.
Wow, yeah. I forgot about that. No paper, yeah.
Yeah, but the Rumble. Always one of my favorites. And I have to say, it has been a long time since a WWE event has grabbed me that way.
Yeah.
We sat here watching And instead of like we are now, sitting back and relaxed in the chairs, we were on the edge, holding the armrest, and it was a fantastic show.
Might add, our predictions were right.
The predictions seem to have came out pretty right. So before we talk about during, let's talk about what happened right before when Kevin Owens got to, was it the Alamo Dome?
Oh yeah. I think he's at the Alamo.
Yeah. Right as Kevin got to the Alamo Dome, they caught up with him. He's wearing a shirt.
Sammy Forever.
His shirt said Sammy Forever.
Yeah. And he patted it. And he patted it as he was walking through into the stadium. Yeah.
That was a good indicator.
Yeah. I love Kevin. I love Kevin Owens, man.
We speculated for a while where this was going, but
yeah.
So the very first, which is sometimes it's kind of surprising, but kind of not at the same time. They started off with the men's Rumble match.
Yeah.
Which I have to say, fairly predictable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's still the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. What can you do with so many people in a ring at once?
And the only time I complain about a Royal Rumble is when you have one and you sit there and you're advertising a 30-man match.
Mm-hmm.
And at most of the time, you've only got 3 guys in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't tune into this to see a triple threat match.
Me either.
I tuned into this to see a bunch of guys going to town.
Going at it, yeah. Oh, God.
We had a couple of surprise entrants into the Rumble.
Mr. Booker
T.
I like how he got from outside to inside real quick.
Oh, yeah.
He come in, did his little spinneroonie, and, gave the fans what they wanted real quick.
He hit a couple people, got the spinneroonie, and he got out. I mean, we had Edge came back.
Yeah.
That was a nice return.
Yeah. Didn't get to see Ray.
No.
Because the unstoppable force that is Dom.
Hardened criminal, by the way.
Yeah, he's a changed man. Yeah. You can tell. And how
did Corey Graves put it? His time in the clink has changed him.
Reminds him of fighting on the yard. He's seen things in there, man.
He's seen things.
Mommy made sure he had 3 cots in a cot in there,
Yeah.
Oh, God, an hour and a half.
But it was...
Love it.
But Edge returns. And of course, I mean, the big reason for Edge return, obviously...
Judgment.
Pretty much throw the Judgment Day out.
Yeah.
And then they ended up eliminating him as well. But it led to a pretty good, decent thing at the end of at the entrance.
Yeah.
As they made their way to the back fighting each other. Rhea Ripley comes out and attacks Edge because she's a badass and can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But Edge didn't come alone.
No.
He brought Beth.
Yeah.
And she come out.
Spear.
Looking badass.
Yeah.
Phoenix
has always been jacked.
She was. The hair, the outfit, everything she had done, she looked like she was ready to go to war.
Yeah.
And I was ready to see it.
Which is another shocking when we get to the women's, because I would have thought for sure they'd have threw her into the women's Royal Rumble.
I kind of expected it. I did.
But, hey. Oh, yeah. I can't wait for this next one.
But we had, and I didn't expect, because we haven't heard anything about this guy. Haven't heard, I mean, we knew he was hurt. Didn't know how long he was going to be hurt, when he was coming back. But Logan Paul.
Yeah.
In the Rumble.
Hey, man. With him and Ricochet.
Oh, man.
The sound it made.
Oh.
They both clashed midair.
Jumped from rope.
Yeah.
One side of the ring to the other and met in the middle in midair. It was a phenomenal moment.
I've talked to a couple of people, man, and people can say what they want to. But Logan Paul's holding his own in there.
Oh, yeah.
I forget who's training him.
I'm a fan. I have to say I'm a fan.
Is it Michaels? Is Shawn Michaels training him?
Probably.
I can't remember, but I think somebody good is training him because he, man, he is for the short time he's in there. He's been in there. Yeah, he's killing it in the ring. Wow, the Hurricane.
Shane Helms.
The Hurricane. Okay. Now it makes sense. The high flying. Yeah.
Never had an issue with Shane Helms.
No.
Love the Hurricane.
Mm-hmm. It's a hurricane coming through.
Absolutely. But Logan Paul, I have to say I'm a fan. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did this guy
How much do you have to pay to get here?
get up on WWE TV? I mean, what is he? And I'll be honest, I don't stay up with that kind of stuff. It's not my thing. But I figured out who he was. But I'm digging it.
Yeah.
I love his ring work. He does good ring work.
He really is. And he's not scared to take it to the limit.
No, his match with Roman was.
What did he tell him? We're going viral, Roman.
Yeah.
He jumped off that ring, that table.
Yep. I mean, he went hard in that match. He come out a little worse for wear with a torn ACL.
Yeah.
He messed up his knee pretty good, but he's bounced back.
Yeah. Right about that.
So it looks like we might see some type of match with Logan Paul at the WrestleMania. Probably, I'd bet on it.
Yeah, but with who? He'll probably be up against. I don't know.
There's no telling. I mean, there's time to set something up.
Maybe a challenge Gunther.
Or Logan.
No. It'll be Seth. There's going to be upcoming beef between them.
Yeah,
because he threw Seth out.
That could very well be.
They may throw old Logan in the Elimination Chamber.
I'd be down with Seth versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
That'd be a good match.
I'm pretty sure Seth would be down with it too.
I'd be all over that.
Only person he'll work with anybody except for one person. He don't want him there. Period.
So, before we talk about the winner of the Rumble, the men's Rumble, we had a record set in the Rumble. Mm-hmm. Our boy Gunther.
Yeah.
1 hour, 11 minutes, and 25 seconds.
He came in number one.
He was the very first entrant.
Man, I like Gunther.
Man, and he didn't just come in and lay down the whole match either.
No,
he was active,
hands on the whole match.
That was good stuff. But it did not help in the end.
Right, no,
because the number 30 entrant, Mr. Cody Rhodes.
Our prediction, yes sir.
Cody Rhodes made his return and
looked good.
Oh yeah,
looked good.
Gunther put that torn pectoral muscle to the test. I've seen a picture of Rhea Ripley on Twitter today. I haven't seen how Cody's pec is doing.
I'll check it out right now.
So Cody wins. Means he's headed to WrestleMania.
Yeah. Which we kind of have been talking around and playing around with for.
I mean, if he hadn't won, it would have been a sign that he's probably not going to get that title until WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
Which I would have been. I'm okay with that as well because it would have been still a huge moment. But it was good.
Yeah. And then this just popped up that Cody just revealed that he was not even cleared until he come out the ramp.
Wow.
He was not cleared to wrestle at all until he was coming up. So if the doctor said no, Cody would have never been there. So that was a last minute clearing for when he got Rhodes up, how Cody comes out. That's when he was cleared to wrestle. Wow. But they're not showing his chest or nothing like that. But I know, good Lord.
Gunther and them chops was not doing him any favors.
And he gave the old salute.
He did.
Which I didn't notice until today. Everybody was talking about it.
He throwed a salute to the Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm. Everybody knows. I love me some AEW.
Speaking of Kenny Omega, I've been wondering why he hadn't been on AEW TV in the past couple weeks. He's been having visa issues. Don't know what happened with that. I won't speculate, but I just throwing that out there, a little Kenny Omega news. That's why we haven't seen him.
I thought maybe it was just because of the double Wrestle Kingdom thing that they do down there.
Yeah.
Had it at the first and then the last of the month. So, but yeah, it's always something. That's what a lot of wrestlers have to deal with when they come to Japan is the whole work visa.
Yeah, yeah. So, what do you think? Want to go into the Women's Rumble and then talk about them last two matches?
Yeah, let's go to that. Yeah, let's go ahead and knock the women's out.
Women's Rumble. I tell you what, these women wrestlers have been tearing it up lately.
Putting on shows.
I mean, you go like we've said, we've been watching for a long time. You go back to the Divas area, and we had some good ones. We had Lita, we had Trish. I mean, there was some good ones. But as awesome as they are, Gail Kim, as awesome as they were not putting on the matches these guys are putting on.
Not even close.
I mean,
it's unbelievable. It's the women have evolved so much in that ring.
Yeah.
It's sometimes. I mean, you've said it 1,000 times. Sometimes the women put on better shows than the men.
100%.
NXT. The women are on NXT outperform the men every Tuesday night.
Just said that. Yeah. Just said that yesterday. Absolutely.
Yep.
And it's, hey, I don't care who's in the match as long as it's a badass match. I'm down.
Right.
So, Women's Rumble had a few surprises in store for us. We had
Asuka. Golly, I love the new look.
Oh man. It's even the mask she wore over in her entrance.
Yeah, man.
Just I would look. I'm gonna research into it and see what more she's got in her meanings for that, because I'm sure she's got some meaning, because all those faces and stuff got Japanese lore behind them. I bet there's something there. But and then her new face paint.
God, and she blew blue mist.
She blew blue mist, and I believe the face paint. I believe she's used that before in a more evil character. So I'm all for it.
She was gone for a while. We were just talking about her. You know what? We ain't seen Asuka since she cleared her face and no paint.
She had been on Twitter kind of hinting that this character was going to return, but we had no
as far as we know, she could have been
no
over
news
that
that she was coming back, or if she was debuting back to New Japan. We had no real inkling of knowing what she was doing. Then Piper Niven, formerly known as Doudrop, makes her return.
Well, she can move.
That was a good return.
Yes, it was.
She came back on fire. I was like,
I've always liked her.
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking forward to see what Piper Niven's going to bring.
And now to the most confusing return that nobody's still just... I think she was last minute.
Number 30.
I think she was last minute. I honestly do believe that.
Like
a last resort.
Quite possibly. Number 30 was Nia Jax. And we really thought that we were going to see her maybe join the Bloodline, but...
The outfit said it all.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
But reading what I've seen today in wrestling news and stuff, she has not signed a contract. Maybe with how the match went, that maybe there'll be an offer or something. I don't know. But she showed up, and every woman that was left in that match stopped what they were doing.
Yeah.
All other fights stopped, and all attention was on her.
Yeah.
And she got surrounded.
They beat her, man.
They tore her up.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley hit her with the ripcord.
Yeah.
With the riptide.
God,
it was good. And then she was out.
Yeah. I remember Rhea.
And that's the girl right there.
She deserved that win.
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy.
That. And she deserves a title.
And exactly as we predicted, that was the winner, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Entering in at number 30 and being the last, number one.
She went bell to bell.
And being the last one.
But
shout out to Liv Morgan.
Yeah. She
was number 2. Yeah. And she was the last one eliminated.
She was going to do it. She said she wanted to go 1 and go 30, but
she was the last one eliminated. So, Can't knock her for that. But Rhea is the first woman to go
Bell to bell, yeah.
enter at number 1 and win. And she also set a record for longest time a woman has been in the Rumble.
Yeah.
At 1 hour and 1 minute, 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Impressive showing.
Just real quick, this just came in. Nia Jax receives new merch from WWE Shop. The Irresistible Force is back.
All right. So, like you said, there was probably after the fact talks. So
Yep.
maybe we will see her join the Bloodline.
The outfit said
Who
it.
knows? Who knows what the Bloodline's going on with them?
That's just a couple minutes away.
We got one other match to talk about first. So Alexa Bliss did not win the Raw title.
Yeah.
And we kind of knew that. It was not a bad match. As far as the quality of the night, it's probably the last on the totem pole.
Yeah.
But that's not saying it was a bad match. I enjoyed the match.
Give it about a C.
They threw down. I really expect to see some more of her possibly joining in or something instead of just we see a broken Alexa in the ring and then another Uncle Howdy video package thing.
Yeah.
And then it cuts. So I was expecting more from that. If there was a spot in the night that was the low point, that would be it for me.
Yeah.
But I still
agree.
wasn't.
I agree.
I wouldn't say it was a disappointment.
No.
But speaking of Uncle Howdy and Bray,
Mountain Dew.
pitch
Black match.
match.
Yes.
I've seen people complaining. It's fine. You can have your opinion. I can't help it that it's probably wrong.
Yeah.
But that match was phenomenal.
Amazing, man. It was. Hey, it had us on the edge of our seat the whole damn time, dude. We
It
never
did.
Yeah. God.
And the video package they played right before the match, something stood out in it for me, and I caught on to it at that point and didn't catch on to it because I've forgotten it happened. When Bray wanted to apologize to LA Knight, and he wanted to shake his hand, LA Knight slapped him. And then he gave him another chance, and he said, think about it. Because the next thing you do will change your life forever.
Whatever you open that door, whatever comes through is on you.
Is on you.
Yep.
Boy, I don't know what came through that door or whose nightmare it was born in.
Yeah.
But wow. From Bray's entrance
Yeah.
to the very
Now,
last segment.
We had to keep rewinding his entrance because
We
we was
did.
missing certain characters.
We did, because we did not realize
Yeah.
at first that the characters were along the side, and we didn't catch it till the buzzard, which is the last one you
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we backed it up, and then we're like, wait a minute. So there was the pig, then there was
Sister Abigail.
Sister Abigail, and then you see the buzzard. And I think the bunny was there.
He was there after Howdy jumped off. Yeah.
He was probably there on the entrance ramp, and the camera guys probably missed it.
Yeah. But they had the fireflies all around the ring.
The
They
fireflies
had- yeah.
around the ring, the ring ropes glowing in the black light.
The middle of the ring was glowing.
It was
And the
that
way they
was-
did the paper shreds and
that was fun.
everything, dude.
It
Come
was-
on, man.
It was so good. There was so much fun to have in
Yeah.
that match. I mean, and then
But when the lights went down in Texas, hey, wow, that was a whole new Bray with that black light ink on it.
when them black lights hit and that stuff lit up, and you see Bray looking more demonic
Yeah, than he ever has.
than the Undertaker ever dreamed of looking.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
But that was only the
shade
beginning.
to the Undertaker. No shade to the Undertaker,
Yeah.
because he has had his scary ass moments.
Mm-hmm.
But Bray, wow,
When he turned that head upside down in that corner,
man,
the whole crowd went ape shit.
it was.
He
I
had the
would
six
hate
on
to
the
be
side
the
of his
one.
head.
He had
It
the
was-
6 for the Wyatt 6.
Uh-huh.
That was a nice little hint. That's what I liked about that. There was a lot of little hints, and I'm sure there's some we missed. I mean,
Of course we did, man. It
we've
was
already gone back and watched that whole match a second time, and we've probably still missed something.
yeah.
And
And mind you, after he beats the living hell out of LA Knight, then he proceeds to go and put on another mask.
Yeah, he hit the Sister Abigail for the win, and then the next thing you know,
he's crawling through the corner.
Crawling from the corner with this god awful mask on.
Shout out to whoever designs those things for him. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah. You would expect to see that in a movie.
He had, it looked like he had like gold fangs on.
No, his whole mouth was gold teeth with gold fangs.
And it was,
his freaking eyes glowed red.
oh, but the eyes glowed red.
Are you kidding me right now?
Man.
But that was a totally different Bray after he put on that mask. LA Knight hit him, what, 10 times with the kendo?
He kept hitting him with the kendo stick and never even flinch.
Come on.
Like,
Yeah.
it was time to stop hitting and start running.
LA Knight opened that door. And now we're all getting to see what's came through it. Because when he got him on that damn platform.
He chased LA Knight through the crowd. They got up on the platform, and he caught him with the mandible claw.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing you see is way above.
He looks up at him.
And there's Uncle Howdy.
Yep.
And what does Uncle Howdy do? Jumps down and drops it on LA Knight.
God.
Giant flames explode around Bray.
Yeah. Little homage to Kane, probably.
Yeah. And then the next thing you see is the characters.
Yeah.
Above Bray.
Love it. Loved it.
Amazing.
Loved that match. Everything about it. Sorry.
Loved it. And
didn't like it. Don't care. I loved it.
No, it was oh, so good.
Yeah.
And we, like we said, there was, I mean, you could see in his entrance with the way his eyes were blacked out, you could see nods to Undertaker. You've got nods to Kane.
Yeah.
You've got nods to Mankind.
Yeah.
So the darkest characters they've had.
Yep.
There's nods to them and what Bray's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are we getting our new dark character, going to be one of the greatest to ever pull this off.
Yeah.
But he is showing some respect to his the ones that came before, and it's subtle.
And we don't even know what the fuck the future brings with the six. We don't know who these people are. We still don't know who Howdy is. We don't know what.
And I think with the six on the side of his head, that may be the first time we've seen the six referenced.
Yeah, except for his Instagram,
on TV,
Twitter, yeah,
on TV. Now on Twitter,
he's
been on. That's been talked about, and he's been referenced to that.
Yeah, it's the first time he's referenced it, of course. Yeah,
first time he's referenced this on TV that we've caught.
I can only imagine if he did this for the Rumble. Just imagine what he would do at a WrestleMania.
Oh, I'm so excited.
They'd give him the longest walk, and it would just be just.
But now we're left with so many questions.
I know, man.
What's happening next?
That's wrestling.
What's coming up next? Will we see LA Knight? Is LA Knight about to disappear and then show back up?
A mask?
And is he going to disappear and then show back up with Bray?
Yeah.
What is going to happen? I'm so excited. Bray Wyatt has ignited a fire in the diehard wrestling fans, and if he hasn't, I'm sorry for you.
And maybe him lighting that fire made them put a fire up under his ass. Bray Wyatt put one up under him too.
Yeah.
Because he kept telling LA Knight, man, I know how to get you that respect. Hey, fear is respect. You put people in fear, and you put fear into people, they're gonna respect you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm still on the edge of my seat, waiting to see where this leads. And
I love that match.
I'm enjoying the long-term storytelling that's going on with this whole thing.
I'm glad they finally got Bray in the ring.
Admittedly, it's taken a long time to get Bray in the ring.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like that, but I also get it. So
maybe we'll see more of him now.
It's not a bad thing, and they're continuing the long-term.
The build-up was worth it, wasn't it? Hey, that was like a movie release that we're waiting for to come out in summertime.
That's exactly what it is. Yes, it took a long time, but he made it worth the wait.
Yes, he did.
And if it's not worth the wait, then
Yeah.
whatever happens next, we're not going to tune in for.
Yeah,
You're going to lose the audience.
We actually kept saying, it's like, man, if we don't hurry up, man, people are going to lose interest.
Yeah, we
People
said
are
that.
gonna
We
do
did.
this, that, and the other. Then no, man,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
he's a great storyteller.
We gotta move on, because if we don't, it's going to be hours into Bray Wyatt conversations, and it'll lead down
Yeah.
a long road. So the main event was Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed.
Yeah, I think it was the Universal. I think it was just for the Universal. I think
Well, it showed both of them, and it's how do they say?
undisputed
Universal Heavyweight
WWE,
Champion.
whatever.
Yeah, it's both belts.
Yeah.
Both belts.
Yeah,
Both titles, however you want to call them. That's what it was for. And I did, and as we're sitting here watching, I said, this match, it's not being bad, but I'd like to see it kind of speed up a little bit.
yeah,
But it kind of made sense. Roman is more of a slow, methodical.
yeah. He's a
Get her
big,
done.
bulkier guy. You know, he ain't gonna be
Where-
flying around. You know,
Kevin, even though he's a big guy,
he'll
he moves.
never. I've always loved
So
Kevin too.
he's like he moves like the little guys that they always say. You know, you don't want to let him get going.
Yeah, I
You don't want to
know.
let Kevin get going.
That's right. That's right.
And then it eventually got going, and they tore it up. And that was a good match. And you could see once again
Yeah,
Heyman on the outside of the ring and everything he was doing.
Schmooly.
Smoothly get the chair.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. And can I just bring up the fact that when Roman told Sammy to get the chair, there's all of a sudden no steel chairs around the wrestling ring.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
No,
yeah.
no chairs around the wrestling ring.
And Paul had to say, right here, Smoothly. You know, he lifted up the bottom of the yeah.
What alternate universe are we in?
There's not even the girl was not even what's her name was sitting in one. There's no steel chairs whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
yeah.
But man, they played so well. It was so good.
I was thinking it was gonna happen a little bit later. Like maybe
Yeah.
February, but
Yeah.
yeah, the ending was the
the,
ending and it was good. I
Oh,
liked it,
the
yeah.
match ends. Of
Well,
course, Kevin did not win.
No, he did not.
Roman beat him after I don't know, 187 spears and 69 Superman punches or something.
Yeah.
It took a lot to keep Kevin Owens down.
Well, hell, he hit him with everything too. Kevin hit
Oh,
Roman
yeah,
with
he did.
everything.
It was hard to keep either one of them down.
Yeah.
But he finally got Kevin down, and then Usos come to the ring. Solo comes to the ring. They're gonna put the lei. I think it's what those are called, the flowers around Roman's neck, and then they're gonna put one around Sammy, and he stops it.
Uh huh.
He says, "Wait."
Yep. Not yet.
And boy, they proceeded to throw a
the
beat
living
down
hell
on Kevin Owens.
Oh my God! How many super kicks he take? He took at least back to back, double super kick, back to back to back.
I only have a grade school education, so
Yeah.
I can't count that high
Yeah.
to count how many
He
super kicks
took
it was.
a beating.
It was, and I said it last night. I said, the Royal Rumble took a dark turn.
It did.
And I said a few weeks ago, like Roman's been running this almost like a Godfather style.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that kind of played into it because it got dark.
Yeah.
Because it was,
The old Bloodline shirts were set up like a Godfather type thing.
Yeah.
Gimmick. Yeah.
and it got dark because they were not letting up.
No.
And then they're going to cuff him to the ring
Yeah.
and just keep super kicking him.
God damn.
It was nuts. And then Sammy steps in when Roman's getting the chair.
Yeah.
And he's about to smash
You're
Owens.
better than this. You're better than this, Roman. It's beneath you.
He said it's over, it's done. You've done it. You beat him. And that was the turning point where we knew what was coming.
No, you do it. Yeah, you're right.
So
you do it.
He gives Sammy the chair and tells him to do it. And we all know there's no way.
He told him
Sammy
to go do some jackass shit.
he started yelling at him, and he said, and telling him, and he did. That's what he said. He said, "Then go do some jackass shit."
If it wasn't for me, you'd be doing mediocre road shows, and won't you just go do some jackass shit?
That
It's
was
like,
so
come
good.
on, Rome.
And mind you, all the talk we can hear, they're not using microphones.
Yeah.
If you weren't watching, there was no microphones during this segment, but we heard everything crystal clear. And when he told Sammy to hit him with the chair, he refused. Mm-hmm. And Roman lit into him, just screaming at him.
But Sammy took a whole nother level when he started putting his hand in Sammy's face and shoving him across the ring.
He got in his face. They did the head-to-head, nose-to-nose, and Sammy kept backing away from that, and like, we're not doing this, and he wouldn't let up.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Roman turned his back,
cow,
smashed him with the chair. Seems to be a trend with Roman.
Yeah. But after that, you should have just seen Jimmy and Jay's face. Jay just dropped, shook, but Jimmy, no.
Oh, Jimmy snapped.
Super cake. Wow.
And then, Solo grabbed Jimmy and throws him across the ring and says, "No, I'm doing it."
Tanked him straight up in the air like he was a sack. Man,
tore him up, hit the Samoan spike. The list of things they did to Kevin and Sammy in that whole segment, there's too many things to list. It was an absolute brutal beatdown. There's no other way to say it.
Long story short, they got the hell beat out of them.
They got the hell beat out of them, 100%.
Like the old saying, like a old redheaded stepchild. They beat the hell out of those two.
The part that throws it all into conundrum is Jay.
Yeah.
When Sammy turned, Jay only stood in the corner.
Yeah.
And when they told him to jump on Sammy, he dropped and rolled out of the ring, and he walked out.
Uh-huh.
He walked out clearly distraught.
Yeah. But man, I don't want to see that.
Hurt. He's hurt because Sammy betrayed the bloodline.
Yeah.
Betrayed him. He's hurt because he stood up for Sammy.
Of course, at the tribal court, yeah.
So this is Jay's fault. And I hope that instead of completely breaking up the bloodline, we see, possibly Jay, saying, "I don't deserve to be in the bloodline. This is all my fault. Maybe this is where he's coming from." And he's torn. We'll see what happens.
Or they'll lose one of the titles because he'll be so distraught to Kevin and Sammy.
And I think that's what is probably we're going to see. We're going to see Kevin and Sammy get tag titles, which is probably bad news for the rest of the tag division because...
Yeah, and I'll just say it. I really don't care for... I like nothing against Kevin, nothing against Sammy, but I've been watching this thing for a long time, and I just like tag teams that are tag teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I like the Usos. That's why I like the Young Bucks. That's why I love the Road Warriors, the Hart Foundation, stuff like that, I want a tag team to be a tag team. I like them matching. I like them being a tag team.
I do.
Not just two random superstars put together and put up.
And just real quick, because we're out of time and we got to wrap this up.
Of course we are.
But speaking of the tag teams, just real quick, one tag team that I thought, I don't want to see this. You're just putting two people together. Why are you doing this? Was Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah. Okay.
The Bar.
Yeah, the Bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had these killer matches.
But
then I'm like, oh. But then the Bar finally came together, and they turned into a real team.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like. That goes back to what I was saying. When they're matching, they got the matching outfits on, and not just Sammy come out in his little one shirt, and Kevin comes out with his KO shirt on, and just stuff like that. But the Bar, they became a tag team.
They became a team, and it was good. I enjoyed the Bar.
Yeah. All right.
But that's got to wrap it up for today, because it.
We could keep going.
We've got to stop because it'll keep going, and 9-10 hour podcasts are not a good thing. Yeah. So just we'll wrap this up. Thank you for listening and joining us for episode 2.
Great episode. Thanks, everybody.
Very much. Make sure you get on Facebook, Twitter, like us, follow us. We're on all the podcast platforms now. I was not able to get us on as early as I wanted to last Monday for the first episode, but I did get us, and we're on all platforms.
Yes.
And I could say we have plans in the future for YouTube and some other things. So we got a lot coming.
Sky's the limit.
It's going to take us some time. We're getting there. We're
Sky's
learning.
the limit, Josh.
So,
Make sure you search it, though, all the way out. Gladiator Wrestling Podcast.
That's how you'll find us.
Find us on Facebook. Like, share, follow, all that.
Do it all. Make sure. And share it. Share it.
Yes, share.
Share it. Hit us on Twitter. Retweet us. Make sure everybody's finding us. That's how it's done. So, just stay tuned for episode 3 next Monday.
And that's episode 2 out.